Hey, what's up guys? Today I got Samsung's Galaxy Tab S8 Plus and we're gonna do an unboxing and quick first impression on this tablet. Let's get right into it. So the thing is, I was actually debating on getting the S8 Ultra, but when I went into Best Buy and I was looking at it, I realized it's such a big tablet that it kind of takes away from the tablet form factor and almost forces you to use it as a laptop. And although like the display is really nice, the front-facing cameras are really nice, and everything about the tablet is just better, I figured the S8 Plus was honestly a good middle ground for me because the S8 is just a little bit too small, but this is still like a 13.3-inch laptop if you decided to get the keyboard cover. I think I am gonna eventually get the keyboard for it, but as of right now, I can't really find stock on it, so I just figured I'll pick up the tablet, use it for a bit, and see if I like it before I wanna invest in some other accessories for it. So this is the 128 gig variant because I don't really need anything much more. I'm not gonna be storing a lot of stuff on here. Plus, I believe these are expandable with SD cards, but I could be wrong. But let's get right into it. So opening up the box, very slim box by the way. I guess there's no charger in here, it's just gonna be the cable and the S Pen, but we'll see. Okay, so right there we're greeted with Samsung, almost like an Apple-esque kind of cover over the tablet. How do we get this out? Okay, we gotta like, what in the world? Okay. So we'll move this off to the side and see what's included. Okay, so we get the S Pen. The S Pen wirelessly charges with this, just like the S7 lineup. You just snap it onto the back and it's just good to go. It's always there for you if you need it. I really like having the S Pen. I got used to it with the phone. I've been using it a lot for like writing down notes and stuff, which is really nice. One cool thing that I noticed when I was in the store was that like I can use my S Pen on the tablet as well. So if I don't have this with me for whatever reason, I'm still able to use the one that comes with the S22. But I just tried the other way. Oh, it actually does work. So yeah, both these S Pens work together. This is the one for the tablet and I can use it on my phone. And then this is the one for the phone, obviously works on the phone, and vice versa. I tried in the store and the one that comes with my phone actually does work with the tablet. So that's really cool. Okay, let's see what else is in here. So we have like a pamphlet. That's where the S Pen was. And here, I'm gonna guess we have the charging cable. Yes, I was right. It looks like a pretty decently long C to C cable, which is nice. And then there's a SIM eject tool. I believe the SIM eject tool is so that you can open up the micro SD expansion. And I think there's a version that has, you know, like a SIM slot so you can use it with a network. Let's get everything out of the way and pull the tablet aside. So, let's see, we got the, oh, this is like, what in the world? Oh, I guess this was a pull tab so I could pull it out of the box, but it's like, oh my God, this thing is really glued shut. Okay, so here's the tablet. Let me show you what the S Pen does. So I believe the S Pen just attaches, yeah, like that. And that's how it charges. That's how it stays on. It seems like it's doing a really good job. It's not gonna fall, which is really nice, but that's good to have. Okay, so let's do like a quick rundown of the tablet. On the left side, you have two speaker grills, the smart connectors so you can use the keyboards. These look to be like safety pins or connections for the keyboard so it doesn't wiggle around. Two more speakers on the right side as well as the Type-C. And then on the top, it looks like we have the SIM slot. Let me see if that's for the micro SD. Yeah, so this appears to just be for micro SD, which is really good. It's cool that you can expand it because I know on my phone I can't, but having that on a tablet is a lot nicer since it's like your computer. Okay, so the buttons are on the side, volume down, volume up, and then power. So let's power it on. Okay, so I'm gonna run through the setup on this tablet and then come back in just a second. So it's the next day, and yes, I'm wearing the same shirt because continuity. It's not that I'm lazy or anything, okay? I've used and set up the S8 Plus. I almost keep saying the Ultra because it's still a really big tablet overnight, and there's some things that I really like about it that I want to talk about and just give you guys my first impressions on it because I think it's a really unique device, and as someone that's used an iPad, and pretty much has never graced a Samsung tablet before, I think it's pretty cool. Now, one thing about it is these speakers, okay? These 4 speakers that are, you know, tuned by AKG are actually really good. Like, I've had laptops with worse speakers than this, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually really impressed. See, the thing is, I wanted to use this as a way to write my scripts and be able to read them while I'm making these videos. And I didn't really purchase it with the intent of using it as like a multimedia device, because I have my phone, I have a TV, I have my computer, and I don't know, there's just something different about using a tablet of this size. Like, I'm just laying back in bed, the content is massive, it looks really good because the display is amazing. I think I said earlier that it's a 13.3 inch. I was wrong, it's a 12.4. But being in the form factor of a tablet, it feels a lot bigger than a 13-inch laptop, just because like everything is so front facing. You have it right in front of you. You know, normally a laptop, you have it on your lap, far away from your head, whereas this is like up in your face. And I'm kind of glad that I didn't buy the Ultra because of that. Now, the thing is, I want to get the keyboard for it, okay? But I feel like the Ultra would be very limited to me as a laptop versus a tablet, because this is already big enough to the point where it's kind of unwieldy, right? You know, not that there's anything wrong with that, because the trade-off is obviously you get a really big, nice looking display. However, if the tablet's any bigger, personally, I feel like at nighttime or something, if I'm just using this casually, there's no way that I'm gonna be able to enjoy it. I'll literally have to go to the gym and like bench press or something to be able to, you know, keep my arms from not falling down from how heavy they can be. That being said, like, as this is just an impressions video, I think I'll have like a short-term and a long-term review and talk about some of the use cases that I found for this thing, because I've been playing Diablo Immortal on it with my controller, and man, I'm pretty impressed. I'm not gonna lie. One thing that I really like about this though is Samsung DeX. And you can see here, it turns it into pretty much a laptop UI. You have your taskbar, your desktop, and the way that it functions is very similar to a laptop. Now, I plugged in my Bluetooth mouse and my keyboard to this thing and just kind of got used to it as like a desktop experience, and it's not bad at all. Like, that being said, if I were to have bought a laptop, I wouldn't be doing anything like video editing or photo editing or really anything demanding on it. So just having the ability to use this as a computer to browse the web or do basic tasks honestly makes it a lot more valuable in my opinion. And that's one of the reasons why I picked up the S8 Plus, or just one of these Samsung tablets in general, because with an iPad, I just feel like the experience is very limited. You pay like so much money for this keyboard from Apple that doesn't really get you any extra benefits. Like, at least with the keyboard and trackpad that you can buy for this thing, at least you have like a native desktop experience that you can actually use the keyboard with, instead of having to like awkwardly navigate the apps that are meant for touch input. And I will say, like, Apple does do a really good job at, you know, the trackpad support and stuff, but having like a free-flowing cursor and allowing you to click wherever you want, it just should be on everything. Like, I don't know why the iPad, if you guys are familiar with how the iPad works, when you hover over something, it kind of like goes sticky, it locks in place, and then you kind of have to like nudge out of it if you want to move over to something else. So, you know, just having this laptop experience, it's kind of like just useful, is a really nice feature, to be completely honest with you. This thing feels really premium. I've used like cheap Samsung tablets before. Like when I was a younger kid, I had like the Tab S, I think it was just called the Tab S or Tab S4 or something. I don't know. I had a really old Android tablet that obviously was just like $100 and wasn't meant for anything special, just like watching YouTube or playing like light games. But man, I've never used an expensive Samsung tablet, and this thing just blows my mind. So you get that 120 Hertz display, a really nice build quality. I believe it's just aluminum. I don't know, it feels really good in the hand. It's kind of a fingerprint magnet though, but like, everything is nowadays anyway, and I'm waiting to get a case for it, waiting to see, you know, one that I like. Currently the keyboard's out of stock, of course it is, so I'm not gonna have that in my hands anytime soon. But, you know, things like the S Pen being able to charge just on the back like that, it just, not only that, but like even having multiple positions for it, it's just something that like, why don't more people think of these things? Like why is this so hard to figure out? You know, the iPad, it only sits at the top. So like, if you're kind of like rotating it around a little bit, it gets kind of in the way and it can just be kind of a hassle. So having like the two places it can sit is super nice because you're not really like obstructed when you're, you know, just moving the tablet around, and this thing stays on, you know, like this is not coming off. Whereas the iPad, you're gonna just do this and the whole pen flies off. Not that I'm gonna be throwing my tablet around like a maniac or anything, but I think it's like a good thing to note that it just feels like they thought of a lot. And the chip in here is fast. It's the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, which is the same one that's in the Note 20 Ultra or S22 Ultra. I always get them confused. Yeah, same one that's in my phone. And it's just nice to know that whatever I can throw it here, I can throw on my phone or vice versa. So I'm not having to worry about whether this device can handle it or not. It's not as powerful as something like the M1 in Apple's MacBooks and in Apple's iPads, but at the same time, you don't need an M1 and an iPad, especially if the iPad can't even utilize the M1. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Having a chip like this, I feel like is the perfect middle ground for something like this, where you have a very powerful computer, you're able to play all your games and stuff on it, browse the web, you have a high resolution display, a really long battery life. It seems like I took it off the charger early in the morning and I'm at what, like 90%. So I think that's wicked. And as more time goes on and I have more things to say about it, I'll definitely be writing a video about this thing. So if you guys are interested in that, leave a like down below and subscribe for more content. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.